Yo, what's good, YouTube? It's Gabriel, Just Another Fan TV. Back at you another video, man. You like the content of this video, go ahead, smash that like button. Like the content of this channel, go ahead, hit subscribe, man. And guess what, Ravens flock? Reinforcements are on the way. The Ravens have officially signed JPP, Jason Pierre Paul, to a 1-year deal. So he's now with the team, man. But before we get into that, yesterday I did the injury report, all right? And obviously, the key name on there was Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson was limited with his elbow injury. Don't worry, he's okay. Today, injury report came out. He's listed as a full participant. So that elbow injury that we thought might have been something, it's nothing. He wasn't wearing the protective sleeve today. He was throwing to receivers during the open part of the receivers and tight ends, during the open part that the media could see. So it seems like Lamar Jackson is perfectly fine. He said so yesterday. John Harbaugh said so yesterday. But I know seeing Lamar Jackson on the injury report got some fans concerned. But he's all good. All right, we can take a deep breath on that one. Now back to JPP signing with the Ravens. Let's talk about the deal real quick. All right, Jason Pierre Paul, 33 years old, so we know he's on the back end of his career, but he's trying to join a team that's going to Super Bowl, and he believes the Ravens can do that. All right. Now, 1-year deal worth $5.5 million. Well, up to $5.5 million. I should say that. So we have to imagine that there's a lot of incentives in there, a lot of things that he has to hit certain marks, certain numbers to get that $5.5 million. But if he does, that's all good for the Ravens. So I'm hoping he does reach that target amount, because if he does, that means he probably had a really good season. All right. Now, let's just look at Jason Pierre Paul's career. Obviously, we know he started with the Giants. We know that he was on Tampa. But what I want to talk about is the fact that he's a guy who has 91.5 career sacks. All right. And it's not like these sacks he just started doing it. It was all in the beginning of his career. Just about in 2019 and 2020, he had 8.5, 9.5. Last year was his first down year in a while with 2.5, and that's because he came off a shoulder surgery, okay? Now, that's another thing we got to talk about, is that how soon can JPP really affect this team? Because like I said, he's come with a shoulder injury. I saw a tweet from Justin Reberg, I believe it happened, the surgery happened earlier this year, so he should be, ready to go pretty soon. The Ravens are going to need him as soon as possible. I don't know if he suits up for this Sunday's game. We'll see. I will be interested to see if he does. And if he does suit up for this Sunday game, how many snaps can he realistically be expected to play? That's another thing as well. But the Ravens needed reinforcements, and they got them. So that makes 2 outside linebacker signings in 2 days. They just signed Brandon Copeland yesterday. We talked about him a little bit. He's from Baltimore, Gilman kid. And, he's on the Ravens now. He got signed to the practice squad. JPP, same thing. So the Ravens are making moves to reinforce an area of the team that was really weak. We got to be completely honest about it. Odafe Owe had to play a lot of snaps. Justin Houston had to play a lot of snaps. Now, Owe is a younger guy, but that doesn't mean he doesn't get tired. And Justin Houston, him and JPP are about the same age. So him playing all those snaps, it's not good. All right. But Justin Houston was playing really well, getting pressures, getting sacks. So he was playing well. Owe has been better in run defense than, I would say, in the traditional pass rush. But I expect it to turn up now that he has somebody who could probably relieve some pressure off of him. And also, always been seeing some double teams. Okay, so teams around the league are taking notice of Odafe Owe and saying, we're not going to let this guy wreck our game. So, keep that in mind as well, all right? But I'm excited for this move just because the Ravens finally addressed the need that they should have addressed probably a long time ago. We had guys like Vince Beagle go down. We had Steven Means go down recently. And this outside linebacker need is not something that's new. I've been talking about this need since training camp. So they've taken a long while to address it, but sometimes you got to say better late than never. And that's kind of the Ravens' approach, especially with this outside linebacker thing right now. And we got to hope that JPP can still give the Ravens something. And I believe he can, all right? Like I said, I believe last year was a down year just because he got that shoulder injury and things of that nature. The 2 years before, we're talking about a guy who had, 19 sacks combined in those previous 2 seasons. You know what I mean? Or no, I'm sorry, 18 sacks. So that's big time production in 2 seasons from a guy that was 32, 31 in them seasons. So he's not too far off from that. And the Ravens just need him to provide some added relief, honestly. And if he can do that, and the Ravens can actually get a rotation of edge rushers in, now we just see this defensive line pass rush to go to another level, and that's honestly what this team needs. Now, a guy like Tyus Bowser, obviously the Ravens are waiting on, and he's not expected to be back probably until week 5 at the earliest, obviously because he's on that PUP list. So that's when he's eligible to come back. Hopefully he can come back, right off the bat. That'd be a big game versus the Bengals on Sunday night. So the Ravens signed Jason Pierre Paul, 1-year deal worth $5.5 million. And it's a good deal for the team. It's a good deal for Pierre Paul. They waited. I mean, he came in here, multiple times, left without a deal. So obviously something wasn't completely clicking. And now they finally got the deal done. I think when he first came in early in, June, July, something like that, I think he was still recovering from that surgery he had. So Ravens probably just wanted to see how he looked, see what was going on, and then, keep him in the back pocket until they really, really needed him. And now they need him, and then they got him. Now, I will say this, all right? Obviously, the Ravens are a great organization. All right, they do things right most of the time. But Eric DeCosta, he was kind of late to the ball on this one, man. They probably should have signed outside linebackers way before this. But, it is what it is at this point. You can't go backwards, you can only go forward. The important part is that Jason Pierre Paul is in the building. We'll see how soon he can play, like I said earlier. That's going to be the next important factor. Can the Ravens get him out there to really contribute in this game versus the Patriots? I don't know. But, the guys need help. So, Adafiowe, Justin Houston have to be ecstatic about this kind of news, knowing that they're getting a proven pass rusher that's going to take some pressure off of them and actually, give them a breather from time to time, man. The Ravens' defense has been on the field quite a lot. So when you see guys getting gassed, guys getting tired, these long drives, it's going to affect the pass rush. So the Ravens need a strong rotation of players. And Jason Pierre Paul, I keep calling him Justin, I'm sorry. JPP gives them that, all right? So Ravens made a good signing today. I'm excited for what the team is going to do going forward. This pass rush is starting to shape up a little bit. Now, the interior mixed with the edge. Hopefully, we can see that same kind of pass rush that we saw week 1 versus the Jets, and not so much what we saw week 2 versus the Dolphins. Tua had a lot of time back there. He was very comfortable versus a guy like Joe Flacco, who was pretty much uncomfortable the entire game because the Ravens' rush was getting to him. So that's a big key. That's what I'm looking for, honestly, is that the Ravens can turn up the heat and actually put more pressure on the quarterback. And McDonald likes to rush 4, so giving him another guy that's a threat is only good, for him. So, Pierre Paul, great player. I'm trying to look at his snap counts. So even last year when he had the injury, he was on the field quite a lot, 74% of the snaps. The 2 years prior to that, when he had 8.5, 9.5 sacks, he's on the field for 84%, 89%. So, the totals dropped a little bit, but like I said, I really think that's honestly because of the shoulder injury. And the Ravens are not going to ask him to play 75, 80% of the snaps, you wouldn't think. So he should be able to be fresher, more ready to go, and really provide that extra needed boost that the Ravens are looking for, all right? So the Ravens signed JPP, 1-year deal with $5.5 million. I'm excited for it. I'm glad the Ravens got it done. Let me know what you think about the signing in the comments, and we'll talk about it there, man. It's your boy Gabriel, Just Another Fan TV. I'm out.